Okay, so when we're dividing our fractions, there is a reasonably simple thing that we can do. We can take the second fraction, flip it upside down, we can invert it, and we can change it to become a multiply. Okay, and normally that's what we do. We just chuck some fractions up, we'd show you that's what to do. I'll just kind of let you get on with it. But what we're going to do here, first of all, is we're going to have a quick think about what division actually is and see if we can get our heads around why that works. Okay, so if we look at the first one, we've got 12 divided by 3. So what we're saying is we've got 12 things and we want to divide it into little piles of 3 things. Okay, so if I've got 1, 2, 3 there, 3 there, another 3, another 3, that gives me 12 things altogether, and I've got 4 piles of things. Right, I've got 4 groups of 3 there, and so when I did my 12 divided by 3, I got 4. Okay, that was my answer out. So the answer at the end of it is telling you how many piles of things that we are getting. Look at the next one. What it's saying is I've got 3 things. So I'm just going to draw 3 things. And I want them divided into halves. I want them split up into groups of halves. So what I can do is I can take that whole thing there. There's one. There's another. Split that one in half. There's a third one. A fourth one. Split that in half. A fifth one. A sixth one. And so when we're asking you to do 3 divided by half, we end up getting 6 out of it. And this is something that causes people a lot of problems because we think when we divide it has to get smaller, but here we've divided and our number's gotten bigger than what we started with. Okay, and what we're doing is we're having to try and think about the size of groups that we're splitting these things up into. Next one, it asks us to do a half divided by a quarter. So there we have my whole shape. So let's take half. We can ignore. Let's change it. We can ignore that side just now. And we want to split this into quarters. So if I wanted to split it into quarters, that would be it there. Looking at my half, how many groups do I have? I've got 2. There's one there, and there's one there. So that's what I'm left with. So when I did a half divided by a quarter, my answer there was 2. So what we're going to do here is show that actually what we've done works. So right at the very start we said well, we're going to divide by a fraction, we can flip the fraction upside down and we change it to be a multiply. And if I did that, I'd get 3 times 2, 6 over 1. 6 divided by 1 is just 6. And if I looked at this next one, I've got half divided by a quarter, so I'm going to end up having a half multiplied by 4 over 1. So again, remember, it's the second fraction, flipping it upside down, changes to a multiply. 1 times 4 is 4, over 2 times 1 is 2, and what is 4 divided by 2? 2. Okay, so a quick demonstration there is to show why these work. We've got some questions down here though. When you're asked to do these questions, you won't need to justify it, right? You won't have to sit and draw out a little picture. You'll be expected just to go ahead and find the answer. So first one we've got, it's 3/4 divided by 5/7. And so I already know that in order to do this, I can make it 3/4 multiplied by, flip the other one upside down, 7 over 5. After that, I'm doing top times top, so 3 times 7 is 21. So we've got 21 over 4 times 5, which is 20. Okay, when we're doing these, there is no obligation to change it to be a mixed fraction or to have it as a top-heavy fraction. Keep it as whatever one's easiest, but you do need to have it in its simplest form. Okay, so there isn't anything that I can divide top and bottom thereby, so that one's all right. Second one, 3/5 divided by 8 over 9. So again, I've got 3/5, and it's going to change to be a multiply, flip it upside down, so it becomes 9 over 8. 3 times 9 is 27, over 5 times 8, which is 40. Okay, again, it looks like there should be, but there isn't anything that's going to divide into the top and the bottom there. Third one, we've got 1/6 divided by 7 over 5. So that becomes 1 over 6. Changes it to multiply, flip your second fraction, so it becomes 5 over 7. And so we've got 1 times 5, which is 5, over 6 times 7, which is 42. Okay, again, that's not one that can be simplified. All right. If we are not sure on how it's simplified, then we need to go back and have a look at the simplifying video that we did earlier. Okay, but that is the step that we would be expected to do. Dividing fractions isn't something that comes up often at this level, all right, but it is something you need to do when you're carrying this forward, okay, because as you work your way up the levels, it does appear more and more frequently.